From northern to southern California, more than a dozen wildfires still burning out of control.
Trying to get out of here. We saw it, now it's getting across the road. It's all bad.
50 miles northwest of San Francisco in wine country, flames tore through parts of Santa Rosa, California, turning cars and subdivisions into ash.
They were screaming, fire, 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 get out, get out.
It just happened so fast, you just had time just to run away with nothing.
We have cars and Harleys and boats and all kinds of stuff all gone.
Fast food restaurants, hotels, and homes all destroyed. Hospitals in the area evacuated. More than 115,000 acres have burned, much of it in California's wine country, Napa and Sonoma counties. These flames destroyed wine storage buildings at one historic vineyard. Farther south, near Los Angeles, fires in Anaheim have lit up skies over Walt Disneyland. Hurricane-force winds pushed the flames so fast, firefighters couldn't keep up.
On the eastern flank last night, we tried to go direct in a couple of different places and we got outrun by the fires.
Mill Valley, California Fire Chief Tom Welch's own home near Santa Rosa burned.
The fires are still out there. They are still actively growing.
And the firefighters are exhausted.
Resources still continue to be limited. We have folks on the fire line starting their third shift right now that have not been relieved because there's folks not available to come in with so many fires in the area.
The fierce winds, which have been spreading uncontrollably, died down Tuesday, the flames with it. But a forecast of dry weather and no rainfall for the week, still a concern.
This is my neighborhood in flames, completely in flames. Oh my God.
This is not
my shot right now, so I'll try to do it gradually. Okay, Booth, I'm going to very gradually move the shots. We have a new flame close to homes. Yeah. Yeah, the homes are at the top of the hill.
The majority of the fatalities are from Sonoma County, where huge swaths of the city of Santa Rosa were leveled by the Tubbs fire. According to authorities, at least 100 people have been injured and as many as 1,500 homes and businesses destroyed. They said those figures are expected to climb in the coming days as more information is reported.
We were at home, my son and I, and then when the power went out, we woke up and I checked out the front yard and the wind was just howling through here, and very large ambers were striking down, and we didn't have any time to get anything. We just had to go.
On Tuesday morning, California Fire spokesman Daniel Bellan said the Tubbs fire and the Atlas Peak fire in Napa County had burned 11,000 and 10,000 hectares respectively. He said both fires were uncontained. Firefighters are hoping that winds will lessen enough on Tuesday to allow crews to get a handle on the fires.
I'm just kind of in shock and stuff, and kind of out of it from, I guess, breathing all this smoke. I'm kind of fog-headed, you might say, and stuff. I was kind of resigned to the fact that this was going to be gone when I left, and I would basically have nothing here, you know. So this is kind of a shock that the house is still here.
Because
kind of changed my plan of what I thought I was going to have to do. So, I mean, it's great, you know.
New evacuations are ordered on Tuesday evening as more than a dozen wildfires raged across Northern California.
No, I don't know how long I'm going to be here or what's happening at home, and that's starting what I'm starting to think about now is, am I going to have a home to go back to?
Hundreds more firefighters and law enforcement officials headed on Tuesday to Northern California to battle the wildfires. And authorities have begun to identify the dead, including a 100-year-old man and his 98-year-old wife who died in their burning home.
On a daily basis, and that job is fairly slow going and fairly painstaking, because a lot of these structures that we're looking at, there's just not much to identify what they were. Maybe it's a chimney, maybe it's a bathtub, but that's really what our crews are going to do now, is to go back and figure out what was there before the fire came through and account for it and ensure that that information is passed out. We know that people want to get back to their homes. We know that that's a priority for us. You know, our hearts go out for everybody. We have crews and firefighters who've lost their homes as well. We do want to get everybody back in there as quickly as possible, but our number one priority is the safety of the citizens. So we have to make it safe. We have to cool it down. We have to get the power lines off the road. We have to shut off the gas. We understand that people want to get home, but it's going to be a little bit before we secure it all.
We talked with a volunteer firefighter yesterday who was called in at 2 o'clock in the morning and was still on the job watching out for the Kaiser Hospital site at 5 o'clock at night. And we said, how are you doing? He says, I haven't even had a cup of coffee. How are your crews managing this situation, and how does it compare to other ones that they've seen?
Yeah, so you know, all of these incidents are difficult for everybody, people involved and first responders. But firefighters are also very good at, all first responders, putting the mission first and putting kind of their needs secondary. Now that we're into this incident over a day, we're starting to be able to rotate crews in. So crews that have been out there for 24 plus hours were able to get in, get a hot meal, get them cleaned up, get their equipment restocked. And now we're back into that cycle of using our incident command system to ensure that fresh crews come in, other crews get to rest, and there's this cycle in place. The first 24, 36 hours of these incidents were fairly unprecedented in California, right? To have this many fires burning in this way in such a condensed area with a big population was fairly unprecedented. So firefighters, there were some big lifts that were made for 24, 36 hours of firefighting.
Is it too soon to say what that cause might have been? I mean, to have this many fires burning so close together and in such rapid succession.
Yeah, so we do a very thorough investigation of all of our fires in CAL FIRE, and it will take firefighters and investigators quite a while to determine these causes because it is an active investigation, and there are going to be multiple investigations. So it is too soon to speculate on that, but our investigators are working hard to determine those causes.
Are they related?
Again, it's way too early for me to even be able to talk about that. I have no idea.
What about the missing people? Do you guys have rescue teams going out there?
Yeah, so the missing people, we've got reports of quite a few people who are unaccounted for. Maybe they left their cell phone at home. Maybe they haven't gotten in contact with family members. We do know that there's some cell phone issues out there with connectivity, and that is understandable. There is a phone number that has been set up by Sonoma County. They can go online and find that if they would like to report a missing person or someone they haven't heard from, and sheriff's deputies are going out and checking and trying to determine who they can get in contact with.
What about any rescue missions? Have you had to try to save anyone?
So there's been evacuations, rescues, and kind of prioritization of life throughout the last 24 to 36 hours. I think it's going to be countless instances of firefighters and first responders who have literally rescued people throughout this incident. Now we're starting to get more crews into the incident, and the weather conditions are becoming more favorable. Now we have a chance to really attack the fire and defend these structures.
Yeah. I was going to ask about the missing people.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Look like you got it all dirty.
Yes.
Yep. So here's all I have for mandatories.
Well, as we're doing this, I look over and I'm like, why didn't I clean that one? No.
those numbers that call for this? This specific number right here, this media line, is they're calling this the Southern California Complex, which includes the Atlas, the Nunn, the Patrick Arc, the Partridge. They would have specifics about that. 707-266-61.
Is that what you're talking about? All right. We'll leave in 10 minutes, as I had told Pete. All right. Fullerton in 10. All right, sounds good. Yeah. What's that? Yeah. Okay. I know. Where are firefighters? Man, that 241's just sprayed in. Yeah, that's what I said. 241 is like. Okay, where is she's on Canyon? Let's go back to Canyon Heights. No, not there. Let's see where Gina is. Right up there. Right there. Maybe she's... I think she's right there. All right. Okay. Yeah. Stay on that home. Yep. Morningside. Widen out just a tad. I just want to make sure I've got the right spot, Pat. Just for a second, widen out. No, I know. I'm just... Okay, got it. Okay. All right. We'll go back down to... There's firefighters there. That's exactly right. That same street we've been watching. Again, this is a few blocks to the north of the neighborhood that we've been watching on Canyon Heights Drive. Morningside Drive down below here. You can see despite the Spanish tile roof there, this roof, the attic area, is starting to go up more in flames. The good news is there is a crew from the Anaheim Fire Department down below. A lot of law enforcement as well, making sure that this neighborhood has been evacuated. As Bill mentioned, very chaotic because what's happened here, Marla and Laura, is this fire has essentially transitioned from that classic wildland fire, which Canyon Fire 1 was more like, because it was burning more of the real estate in an undeveloped area of the Cleveland National Forest, the Santa Ana Mountains, which separate the Inland Empire from Orange County. Now this fire is moving into a well-developed area of the Anaheim Hills, and it's these neighborhoods where these spot fires develop, and then they're treating these individual structure fires much like a house fire that we cover on Fox News. Not just that brush fire, but as we widen out and we show you the whole picture here. I want to show you the 241 toll road and the 91. You're going to see an orange film on that 241 toll road as we pan the camera to the left and tilt up. That's the FOS check that's been dropped by the tankers. You can see the real estate, the brush that's burning on the east side of the 241 toll road. Obviously, the 241 is shut down for a couple miles from the 91 southward into Orange County. You could see the hillsides burning on the westbound side, and it's the west side of the 241 and the south side of the 91 freeway. As we widen out and pan the camera to the left, you could see how massive to the right, I apologize, to the right, you could see how massive this smoke plume is, covering the entire Orange County coastal plain, lofting from the east-northeast towards the west-southwest, because that's the direction of the Santa Ana winds. All kinds of spot fires developing in this neighborhood here in the Anaheim Hills. The firefight is going to continue for hours. First and foremost, though, protecting lives, making sure everybody's out of harm's way, and then protecting these structures. And hopefully they're going to get more water on that home that we've been watching on Morningside Drive. Unfortunately, a half a dozen homes have burned as a result of Canyon Fire 2 on Canyon Heights Drive. 2,000 plus acres. Canyon Fire 1 burned 2,700 acres. Very warm conditions continue. Windy conditions continue. But fortunately, the forecast is for these winds to slowly back off during the afternoon. Santa Ana winds typically have a diurnal pattern, and they do get weaker during the afternoon and evening hours and are strongest during the morning hours, and especially strong right through the Santa Ana River Canyon. That's where the Santa Ana winds get their name, because that narrow canyon is one area of Southern California where these winds really explode. A helicopter overhead, they're going to drop some water here. There's a lot of fire still burning right up against the interchange here of the 241. Let's go back to it, 241 and the 91 freeway. We'll widen out here and we'll show it to you. And it's firefighters that are having to essentially hit each one of these spot fires, Marla and Laura. I'm telling you, it is a battle. It is a struggle, because it's transitioned from that classic wildland fire, which they could sort of size up over an area that's not developed, into an urban area on the right side. All right, appreciate it. Okay, thank you. Heading to Fullerton for helicopter swap out. Or 6, right? 7. I know, it's eerie, huh? No problem. No problem. I can speak. It spreads across towards Catalina.